Thanks, Chris, and thanks for having us today. My name is also Chris. This is Pierre. We work for SecureKey Technologies based in Toronto, Canada. And much like the European area, Canada has adopted EMV. We've rolled out chip and PIN as well as contactless cards on a national scale. Now, SecureKey itself was created to give consumers a secure and a convenient way to transact online using the EMV cards that you issue into the market today. And what we found is the easiest way to describe what we do is to actually show you. So I'm going to ask Pierre, without further ado, to take us to a live e-commerce site. And when he's ready to make a purchase, instead of typing, he's simply going to tap his card. That was super fast. Now, don't worry, we're actually going to show this to you. There it goes. We're going to show this to you again, and we're going to walk through exactly what's happening. So while Pierre gets us to the next site, I just was hoping you were able to see he took his card, tapped it on the SecureKey, and what gets returned to the screen is Pierre's personal details to check out. Now, if we go to another e-com site, I just want to talk a little bit about the industry for a second. E-commerce is growing at a rate of 10% year over year in spite of the economic downturn that we're facing today. That's the good news. Your customers are going online more and more every day to make purchase. The bad news, if you issue cards in this audience today, is that you are losing market share and you're being disintermediated from your customer by the likes of Google Checkout and PayPal. You know, online merchants are trying to sell as much product as they can, and the easiest way to do that is to make the checkout a simple process. With PayPal, for example, it's simply a user ID and password, and it's no wonder they're growing at twice the rate of e-com today. What's important to note is that they're also pushing your customer to settle that purchase on their bank account as opposed to on your card, which is revenue lost. We believe at SecureKey, and in fact, the reason that it's difficult to transact online using your card is that as an issuer, it's hard for you to interact with the card the way you can if someone's in a store. But what if we could change that? And that's the thinking at SecureKey. Each and every time a customer transacts online, you know that the physical card was there for that transaction. So again, I'm going to ask Pierre, we're now at another site. Instead of typing, he's simply going to tap his card. Now, what's happening? We have a slow connection, apologies. The dynamic data from Pierre's card is being sent securely back to the issuer for validation in much the same way as if he was in a store. Assuming his card is valid, it returns back to the screen Pierre's personal details required to make this purchase, saving him well over 100 keystrokes of entry. It's important to note that Pierre hasn't actually hit submit. If he did, he'd be buying this item. Our technology works on e-com sites with zero merchant change. In fact, our technology is a combination of a chip card reader, which we call the SecureKey, and a number of server-side applications that interact with that SecureKey to create strong online authentication. Online authentication is more than just e-com, so let's show you a demonstration of how our technology works in an online banking environment. Pierre's logging in with his user ID and password, but once he enters this information, he's also going to be prompted to tap his card to get access. When Pierre taps his card, the bank now has a what you have and a what you know factor of authentication for Pierre. So even if a fraudster got a hold of his user ID and password, without his physical card, they couldn't get access. The UK market is doing a great job at mitigating against online banking fraud by distributing one-time password tokens into the market. But I would argue it comes at the cost of customer convenience. That individual needs to type information into a one-time password token, turn around and enter more information into an online banking site in order to get access. Whereas with SecureKey, they simply need to tap their card. We've shown you how the technology works for online banking as well as e-com. It's important to note that we also have the ability to write information back to the card through this. So we can layer on solutions like PIN change and top-up solutions from the comfort of one's home. The utility that SecureKey provides in this $5 device far exceeds anything available in market today and at a fraction of the cost. So let's shift gears for a second and talk about this new attack we're seeing on corporate environments called man in the browser. One-time password solutions don't solve for this, which is why we've created the SecureKey corporate terminal. Now, Pierre's going to log in as a corporate customer by inserting his card and entering his PIN into the SecureKey terminal. This two-factor authentication creates a secure connection now between Pierre's bank and the SecureKey. Now that he's in and is looking to do his banking activities, Pierre's going to transfer $12,000 from account A to account B. This is normally where a man-in-the-browser attack occurs. A fraudster in the middle is going to try to send $1 million to an offshore account. If Pierre had an OTP solution, he would enter it into the computer, and a fraudster would simply pass it on, and $1 million is now gone from Pierre's account. Now, what Pierre's going to do is he's going to put in the request to transfer the funds, and if we can look over on the other camera, you'll see that the bank sends back to the SecureKey the transaction request it is receiving out of band of the computer. So now that Pierre can see $12,000, he can confirm the transaction, he'll enter his PIN, and if we transfer it back to the laptop, we'll see that when he does that, the transaction becomes digitally signed and he's off to the races. Our goal here, again, is to show how our solution is secure and convenient for consumers and corporate customers. Now, we're currently running a number of trials in both Canada and the US with Tier 1 financial institutions. Given that this is an EMV market and our solution works on EMV cards, the European market is a natural fit for us, and we look forward to talking to you at lunch about how our technology might be applicable for you and your customers. Thank you very much for your time.